Every business has them, these little hidden drains on your company's resources. Well, today, we're going to find them. We're diving deep into packaging logistics to uncover 8 silent profit killers and, more importantly, show you how to stop them in their tracks.
Most companies, right, they focus on the big stuff, making the product, selling the product. But this quote, it just nails a crucial truth. The real profit leaks, they happen in between. It's in those little moments a package is just sitting there or being shuffled around or waiting for a simple check. That's our focus today.
So how in the world do you spot something that's practically invisible? Well, you need a new way to see. Think of it like putting on a new pair of glasses. It's called the Tim Woods framework, and it's designed to make all those hidden problems suddenly pop out in high definition. So, Tim Woods. It sounds kind of technical, but it's really just a simple acronym. Each letter stands for one of the 8 major wastes you'll find in pretty much any process. Let's break them down and pinpoint exactly where your profits might be slipping away.
Okay, so here they are, the big 8. Transport, inventory, motion, waiting, overproduction, overprocessing, defects, and skills. Each one of these is a unique opportunity to make your process leaner, way more efficient, and of course, more profitable. Let's get into it.
All right, it's time to uncover these profit drains. We're going to walk through each one of the 8 wastes and see how they actually show up in the real world of packaging. And I bet you'll be surprised at just how common and how costly they really are.
First up is transport. Think about it like this. When that box is moving, is it actually getting closer to the customer? Or is it just being shuffled around the warehouse? That's the key question, because transport waste is any movement that doesn't add a single cent of value. You know what this looks like, right? It's that half-empty pallet being driven from one side of the warehouse to the other. Or it's the truck that takes a slightly longer route between facilities. Each one of those moves seems small, but together they create this whole web of extra costs, delays, and even risk of damage. It is pure, absolute loss.
Okay, next up, inventory. I like to call this one the false safety net. Having all that extra stock on hand, it feels safe, doesn't it? It feels like a buffer against problems. But what if that buffer is actually hiding the real problems in your process?
And this slide, this is where it gets really interesting. Over on the left, you see the symptom, that pile of boxes you keep just in case. But look on the right. That's the real deep down problem. That inventory isn't just tying up cash, it's masking the real issue, like an unreliable supplier or a bottleneck you have in your own system. Our third waste is motion. Now, it's super important not to confuse this with transport. Transport is about moving things like boxes and pallets. Motion is all about moving people. It's all those wasted steps your team takes every single day. I love this phrase, the invisible meters. Picture this. It's the operator who has to walk an extra 10 feet every single time just to get a label, or the technician who's always hunting for a tool that doesn't have a designated home. Each one of those trips is just a few seconds, but over a year, those invisible meters add up to miles of wasted time and lost productivity.
All right, now for a big one. Seriously, this one is probably one of the most common and costly wastes of all: waiting. This is any time a person, a part, or a machine is just sitting there idle. No value is being added, and it can grind your whole operation to a halt. Waiting really is the silent killer of efficiency. It's that cart of trays that's been sitting for hours, just waiting for an inspector to show up. It's an operator staring at a screen, waiting for a system to update. And since everything is connected, when one part of the chain waits, the entire chain ends up delayed. It's a domino effect. Okay, for the next 2, we're going to tackle them together because, honestly, they're 2 sides of the same coin: overproduction and overprocessing. Both of these are all about doing more work than is actually needed, right now. This slide really gets to the heart of that just-in-case mindset we all fall into. Overproduction, that's making more stuff than you actually need, right now. And overprocessing, that's taking extra steps that don't add any real value, like double-checking something that's already been checked. Both are driven by this false sense of security that actually just creates more work. The 7th waste is defects. And here's the thing, this isn't just about a cracked tray or a wrong label. I want you to think of a defect not as a mistake, but as a message. It's a signal that something, somewhere broke down much earlier in your process.
Yeah, see, the crucial point here is that defects aren't just random accidents. They're data.
That incorrectly cleaned tray is literally telling you to go look at your cleaning process. A wrong label is telling you to check your data entry system. Defects point you directly to the root cause, but only if you're willing to listen to what they're telling you.
And that brings us to our final waste, number 8. And you could argue this is the most important one of all because it's human. It's the underutilization of skills. This is about failing to tap into the incredible knowledge and talent of your own team.
Think about it. Your team on the floor, the people cleaning, repairing, and moving these packages, they see the waste every single day. They know exactly where the process gets stuck. Not asking them for their ideas isn't just a missed opportunity for improvement. It's a massive, massive waste of their talent and their potential.
Okay, so we've covered all the theory. So how do you actually put this into practice? Well, the great news is you don't need a massive budget or some huge, complex project. All you need is to start looking at your process in a new way.
The beauty of this whole framework is its simplicity. Don't try to boil the ocean here. Just pick one small part of your process, one packaging line, one single station. Then, literally walk the path that a package takes. Just watch. Where does it stop? Where do people have to wait? You will be absolutely amazed at what you notice once you start looking for it.
But wait, there's one more really powerful benefit to all of this that we haven't even touched on yet. When you start tackling these 8 wastes, you're not just making your business more profitable, you're also making it more sustainable.
It's so simple when you think about it, right? Every time you reduce unnecessary transport, you're cutting CO2 emissions. Every time you reduce that excess inventory, you're saving materials. And every single defect you prevent saves the water and energy needed for rework. It turns out efficiency and responsibility are two sides of the exact same coin.
So, I'll leave you with this thought. We're often told that being profitable and being responsible is some kind of trade-off. But what if that's just not true? What if, by relentlessly eliminating waste using a simple framework like Tim Wood's, you discover that the most efficient way to run your business is also the most responsible? Thanks for watching.